He called himself Reverend Joseph. He drifted into Redemption Creek on a wave of charm and cheap cologne, his voice smooth as polished wood. The town was parched, not just for water, but for hope. And Joseph, he sold hope by the bucketful. He preached on the boardwalk, promised a new church, a new beginning. His collection plate, passed by his own hands, grew heavier with every sermon. Sheriff Brody watched from his office, his chair tilted back. Brody was a man who'd seen too much to believe in easy miracles. He didn't like Joseph's fancy suit, or how his eyes never quite settled. He noticed how the Reverend's Holy Bible was brand new, yet he never once opened it, always clutched it tight. That evening, Brody moseyed over to the livery where Joseph kept his wagon. The Reverend was at dinner. Brody lifted the tarp. Just a bedroll, some supplies, and a small, heavy wooden box, locked. He also noticed a faint chemical smell, like ink. Curious. The next day, Joseph preached his final sermon, a fiery masterpiece that had tears in folks' eyes. The collection plate was overflowing. "This," Joseph declared, holding the money high, "will build our house of faith. I ride now to the city to buy the lumber and the bell." The town cheered, lining up to shake his hand as he packed his wagon. Sheriff Brody just watched, his gaze fixed on Joseph's hands as he shook theirs. Then he saw it, a faint, dark stain on the preacher's fingertips. Ink. Just as Joseph was about to climb onto his wagon, Brody stepped in front of him. "Reverend," Brody said, his voice quiet but hard as iron, "before you go, I'd like to make a donation to your printing fund." Joseph's smile froze. "Sheriff, I don't—" "The ink," Brody said, nodding at Joseph's stained fingers. "Same kind of fella used to print counterfeit $20 bills up in Cheyenne. Fella who, funny enough, also carried his supplies in a heavy locked box." Joseph's eyes darted to his wagon, then back to Brody. He was cornered. He dropped the preacher act, his face turning cold. "You got no proof, lawman." "Maybe," Brody said. He walked to the wagon, pulled out the locked box, and shattered the cheap lock with the butt of his pistol. He opened the lid. Inside, nestled in velvet, were not Bibles, but two beautifully carved counterfeit printing plates. The crowd stared, stunned, as Brody cuffed the Reverend. He picked up the collection plate, still full of their hard-earned money. "Guess salvation's got to be earned," Brody said, his eyes scanning the crowd. "Not printed." He handed the plate back to the stunned mayor. The town had lost its miracle, but it had kept its money. Don't always trust a polished sermon. Find more tales of frontier justice in Frontier Minutes. Subscribe for short Western stories.